Hi everyone, welcome to ZSR. Today we have another Link to the Past randomizer, all Dungeons Key Standing Tournament here, 2022, Round 1, Game 2, between P-Train and MrAaronSnerd. I'm Snarn, with me on comms is Dr. Bob. How are you doing?
Hello, hello, hello. I am here and doing the thing like they say you do.
Indeed, got ourselves a Game 2 out of 3 here. We put these guys on restream yesterday, and now they're back for Game 2.
Yep, I was here for the whole silly thing. I was talking about it the whole time and nobody was listening. No, I'm kidding. I was actually on comms. But, oh my goodness, it was ridiculous yesterday.
Oh boy.
Good
I heard
old-fashioned
about
last
everything.
location ice rod situation here.
The classic.
In Thieves Town Big Chest.
Nice.
Because of course it was.
Why am I not surprised? Thanks, game. Good seed. I can't promise this one will be any better. My track record for seed rolling is pretty atrocious for OTR and Z2R. I don't roll as many ALttPR seeds, but I also seem to be capable of commentators cursing terrible seeds into existence just by showing up to commentate ALttPR, so that's not saying much. In terms of the actual race, though, this is the second 1v1 between these runners. They raced each other yesterday. Not sure why the stats page is slightly malfunctioning. P-Train has both long-time runners in the community. MrAaronSnerd a little bit newer. P-Train having a lot of races under his belt. Aaron as well, quite a bunch. P-Train 144.18 average time. Aaron 154.59.
Yeah, I think.
So it should be a good race.
Yeah, it's very possible that this page might be pulling data from like other race time races here.
I'll talk to Trez about it.
Checking to see like how these two compare against each other, which is a reasonable comparison. But I mean, you never know.
You never know, but we should have a good race here, and looking forward to it. So let me switch over to the race scene and get these guys going, because it's time.
Sounds like a plan. Now, yesterday they both started from Link's house. There's a good chance that continues today, but some runners like to mix it up and not stick with the original thing. You may notice there is a slight difference between the original sprite here. Like, P-Train has something that resembles the original sprite, but you will note that it is, shall we say, decidedly different once it actually starts running.
If I am remembering his sprite of choice correctly, yes, you will notice.
I'm pretty sure all you have to do to make that particular sprite is leave the head part of the animation exactly the same, and then leave the body part as exactly the same frame on every animation.
Gotcha. Anyhow, we're off. This is an AD Keys Boots this is the Boots preset. There are a couple available for this tournament. These guys chose to start with the Boots. So P-Train is sprinting off to Saha's hut as Aaron heads for the uncle. Just 10 arrows in Link's house.
Alright. Green Pendant is at Ice Palace. You've got a pod key. And I was really hoping the next one could be a pod key so I could go for the, three-fer. But it just didn't work. And there's a flute sitting right there in Sanctuary.
Very convenient. Still need to activate it though, P-Train. He's playing it because why not, I guess.
He's playing the song of his people.
Yeah. It didn't look like there was anything on the uncle checks, by the way. While we were discussing P-Train and his keys and from his pod keys in Saha's hut. And also, production's going for these guys, just not much as 3 bombs, thank you. Give our runners here a follow P-Train to Mr. ALttPR, ALttSnerd, I still don't know. Shoutouts also to my co-com Bob and to our trackers, Top Island, Royal with Cheese.
Alright, so the lumberjack hut here today. Let us see what is on the ledge. It's just a heart piece, as is vanilla.
Indeed. So they are doing all dungeons. This is an all dungeons key sanity tournament as per the name, but it's always still good to know if you need to rush Aga really fast.
Because generally, if you can help it, you like to do Aga right at the very end. Because generally you'll be coming from Ganon's tower, and you can just mirror into Aga Tower. Not always, but sometimes.
Map to Hera, alright, that will be something for later. Took me a second to remember if ALttPR has maps give dungeon reward info or compasses, because OTR does the opposite.
It sure does.
It is the map that tells us if Hera will have a pendant or a crystal for us today. Nice bomb drop for these guys. E-Train going to reload. Hope get another drop, hopefully. There we go. And Aaron is just gonna hope he finds some bombs in here, I guess. He actually has 4 already, never mind, so that works.
Oh.
100% bomb job? Nice. Alright, blind set. Small key to swamp. Very nice.
Mm-hmm. Turtle Rock big.
Great.
Yeah. So the swamp small key, of course, being the one key that locks basically everything in swamp. Of course, you need a lot more items to proceed through swamp than just that. Also got a Turtle Rock small key here in the back of Blind's hut.
Always good to get early as well. Funny that there's a big key and a small. There's a small key to go with a big key here in the Blind's hut. Blue Veil also a very nice find. Never gonna turn that down. And nothing in the first 2 checks of the well, although I guess they have bottle vendor money at least, so that's a plus.
Yeah, certainly helps.
Map the Thieves, Red Rupee, and hey, another big key. Fire. Alright, nice.
Well, at least that one's not going to be the last thing they find this time.
Nope. And hey, that's a glove.
Nice. If you'll indulge me for a moment here. Well, have you ever played the mode we use today? It makes me want to say that this is nuts. And if you try it now, I'm pretty sure that somehow you'll truly have a cow. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Thank you for the serenade, Bob.
Alright, I'm done. I was in a panic mode. I didn't have those written when this started.
Hey, it works. There's our 3rd pod key of the seed already. Gabe, as in the chicken hut.
I realize the vocal... There are vocal people in the chat who are not a fan of that, and I get it. But there's also several who are a fan. And, I don't get to do it that often, so I'm sorry if it's not your favorite thing, and it's not going to happen again for the rest of the seed.
Yeah, because they both have already activated their flutes, so we're not seeing it again. It's better you than me, Bob, because I can't hit those high notes at all. Well, I get to pick between hitting the high notes or hitting the low notes, and I do better with the low notes than the high ones, so... fun. Anyhow, library has got a vanilla book. Game? Is this even randomized? Really? Always fun when there's a vanilla item in the game, despite it being key sanity. So there's the silly.
We had vanilla book yesterday.
Was it actually? That's hilarious.
Yes. Excuse me with your vanilla craziness. So we had P-Train go for the check, and Mr. Aaron went for the YOLO race game. Unfortunately, the YOLO play not turning out to be great for Aaron here. Oh, that's okay. I love finding a mirror. I hate finding a mirror right there. And that's why. Because if you had the mirror, you could do this in one trip.
But you can't because it was there. Some bombs you don't need. And off they go. Finding Boulder Cave with bombs is always fun. Does get a bomb refill on P-Train's side. First bottle. The cane.
Nice.
Moon Pearl. What in the hook shot? And 10 arrows. I would have laughed if there were 5 major items in here.
Well, I guess, just like yesterday, we're getting a lot of the items early, which I'm assuming means we're going to get, virtually no keys ever. Except we have 3 pod keys already.
We do have 3 pod keys already. That is somewhat unusual. And there's our first sword. Okay, let's just get all the items early.
Yeah, definitely a fan of finding a sword as soon as possible, of course.
For sure, makes your life much easier. Nice water walk from P-Train. Gonna do the water checks here.
Now, the only thing we didn't pick up this time, that we did pick up last time, was the bow at this point. They had the bow at this point, and they could do Eastern. They also had the Eastern Big Key, which was kind of dumb last time.
Sure sound like sick. That is a Master Sword on the Lake Island.
Yep.
For Aaron, P-Train did not peek that. That's my next thing I was going to discuss.
Yep, so definitely, I imagine he'll probably check it once it becomes relevant.
P-Train is actually probably going there right now.
Yeah, he might even...
Zora Ledge, and not enough money for Zora.
Yeah, both people running for the Zora area without actually having the requisite cash.
Yeah, although with P-Train's choice of routing, he can check the hobo here, which Aaron's going to backtrack for.
Well, Aaron's also going to backtrack for it. They both kind of had to backtrack for the hobo.
And it's true. And small key to thieves. That's
okay. Well, at least they got that one before going to Thieves Town this time.
Yes.
So this time they'll get there without the hammer. That's how this works.
Probably. Anyhow, we're going to see the backup escape here for P-Train, and likely similar for Aaron. Comes in the back. Another bottle, and hey, bits. Okay. That's
what did I just say about getting to Thieves Town without a hammer?
Yeah, because we have Thieves Town access, but there is one issue, Bob.
No big key.
Have a big key. Yes. Watch that be on KingsTube as we say it.
Well, yesterday it was in the brewery just south of Thieves Town, so you never know.
Oh, that's a shroom instead, okay.
That could be a Thieves Town big key, sort of. You don't know. Honestly, I'd be tempted to just go turn it in right now.
And he is. Makes sense.
Though I might also be tempted to do the whole fake powder thing on account of having the cane, but fake powder doesn't usually pay off. Also, kind of a fan of picking up 300 rupees here, not gonna lie.
Always nice to have early.
Oh, we're going up the mountain right now.
Okay, still play. I mean, there are several checks here.
Oh yeah, I mean, you got hookshot, you got glove. I mean, you got
a beard too.
Everything. You got what?
They can do Hera here right now if they so chose. Don't have either key, but they can do it.
Yep. And I would not be surprised to see our runners just go ahead and clear Hera out on account of good old-fashioned Hera pot shenanigans. I say old-fashioned. It wasn't that long ago that it was actually made legal.
That's Bombus on top of Spectacle Rock, so they'll be picking that up shortly. And that's the key in Spectacle Rock.
I was half expecting P-Train to just hover to the key. He can do it. He knows he can do it.
Choosing not to.
Yeah, if you fail, it's a much bigger time loss. So.
Hey, GT key. Okay. Not the worst, not the best. It's a key.
Yep. I mean, ask our runners about GT keys after last night. That's all I got. Oh boy. We're not gonna stick to that pain point. It's a bit of a pain point. That is one Bombos medallion acquired for P-Train. Aaron will be picking it up as well, and we see Skull Woods small key on the
I think that's
tablet there.
Yeah.
It did take me about half a second to realize, oh yeah, that's Skull Woods. I saw dark and I was like, Pod? No.
I also thought Pod first.
Yeah, definitely Skull Woods. So we're gonna get this chest here. And then that is a pod key. So now we're gonna see a little Hera pot clip. Trick being, you kind of want to move diagonally into the pot there to get yourself at the right pixel and then quickly fire off the shot. And Aaron is going to be setting up the bomb play here. So you can do the spin speed method or the bomb method. Either one can get you in the right spot. That was for pod, but it was not a key.
Why does the game want us to go to pod this badly?
I don't know, but it better hurry up and give us a way to do so, logically.
No, we don't actually have a way there. No flippers, no hammer.
I know what it'll do. It'll give us another sword and 2 Agate Tower keys.
Or that. Yes. P-Trade falling down the same hole in Hera twice, by the way. This bumper just trolling and gets it the third try. There we go.
Yeah. It's not like a pixel perfect location. I think you've got like 2 pixels to work with there, but it can still be kind of obnoxious to work with. Oh, Aaron's right on the edge there, but manages to come back and
nice save.
Here comes the angry Moldorm for P-Train, also taken care of rather nicely. Gets a piece of heart and a crystal.
First crystal of the match for both runners at almost the exact same time. Still for 16 minutes in. And according to one of our trackers, Top Isle, thank you, the pod key text would be something about consuming lightness. Their wording, not mine.
Alright, so we see Aaron and P-Train both going for the Super Bunny first route here. Or at least getting there to the mirror spot. Yeah, P-Train's gonna mirror first and do Paradox first. That's fine.
Alright, so Super Bunny bombs and a map to desert, alright?
Meanwhile, Paradox having a map of Hyrule Castle, which is essentially toilet paper, along with a single arrow, which probably wouldn't want to use as toilet paper, but is just as useful.
I mean, I guess you could hang a toilet paper roll off or something.
That would make sense.
Ether, in the meantime, the cape, 3 bombs, and not much else. Missed the first chest of hookshot key for Aaron. That's nothing, that's the flippers. And that's the map to Skullwoods. So yeah.
Looks like it was the red boomerang there on the first chest.
Gotcha. So, as you mentioned, we're just getting all the items and, missing a lot of keys. First ice small of the seed, floating island.
So now Aaron is looking to go down through Paradox Cave here, while P-Train goes to check the Bombos requirement for Turtle Rock.
We're saying pod keys, P-O-D, Sam and ALttPR. P-O-D being short for the Palace of Darkness, one of the 7 dungeons in the Dark World, with the Helmasaur King as its boss, over in the east central part of the Dark World, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, it can be... I get that can be kind of confusing to people who haven't seen this before.
You say pod because Palace of Darkness is a mouthful. There are also actual pot keys, P-O-T. There are pots that drop keys in certain dungeons. Green pendant ice, pendant thieves, regular crystals on Goldwoods and pod. There is a map check for P-Train.
That was what I saw as well. And yes, they were in fact regular crystals. Alright, so a full heart here, Spiral Cave.
And that's that for the mountain.
Alright, Aaron going off to the desert and mire area. Gonna get to check a rather sizable chunk of this.
They do actually have the mire big, as a note. And they can get in the door, because that's Bombos.
And they have, I mean, they started with one of the things you can use to get in the door, or in the area of mire, and that's a bow and a castle tower small key, as P-Train also picks up the powder at the Sick Kid. So all kinds of
convenient powder.
All kinds of amazing things being thrown around here.
Oh, for sure. Checkerboard time for Aaron. Adrian's gonna be able to turn that powder in pretty much immediately if he wants.
First, it looks like we're headed to Skull Woods for a bit.
There are quite a few items accessible, and it's a lot better in key sanity than it is in non-key sanity, since there's actual items in here instead of a bunch of keys.
Agreed. The same goes for Pod.
Assuming you can get in there, need a small key to GT.
And speaking of keys...
Nothing on the torch and desert for Aaron.
Just a green rupee. And that's one of those illustrious pot keys we were talking about there for P-Train.
Yep. Nothing in the desert map chest either for Aaron, so that's that. So he's not going to steal the small key. I was like, is he gonna do that? That would be interesting, but nope. $50 for P-Train. And a blue pea off Akina for Aaron.
And I keep having to tell myself this is not entrance mode, so this is not guaranteed to be a small key here.
It is the Compass of Desert. Aaron is gonna leave the Mire area for now, alright. Mire Desert, clean out for the... Decides to leave it for now, gonna come back later. To be fair, Vidi, even if you want to go to Vidi, it's a little bit of, oh boy, on 6 hearts, green mail, blue mail, fighter sword Vidi would be an interesting time,
Yeah. I mean, he does have a bow, so, that'll make it easier, but we don't have any, like, arrow upgrades, so you can't do it exclusively with arrows.
Nope. In the meantime, instead he's gonna follow P-Train into Skull Woods as P-Train heads to North Dark World. Yeah, they know where their Master Sword is too. It's in logic, as well as they have both Flippers and Mirror, and Dark World access.
Yeah, that's something I definitely want to pick up before trying to beat really any dungeon except Thieves Town. Like, because Thieves Town, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, you can't beat Thieves Town, no biggie.
So, interestingly enough, P-Train, after checking Graveyard Ledge, completely abandons the rest of Dark World. Is not going to check Village of Outcasts or anything like that.
Nope, P-Train is out of there. Getting his items out of Mire shed.
I feel like he's thinking, you know what? I don't feel like a repeat of the Thieves Town big chest debacle. Alright, so P-Train will be picking up another key here, and then we'll be moving on. Now, if Aaron does what he did yesterday, yeah, he's skipping out on the back. Skull Woods here.
Gonna get it with later when he gets Fire Rod, I'd assume.
Yeah, that's what he did yesterday. That is what his.
No, chat's saying he got it. Never mind us.
Oh, never mind. Yes, yesterday he skipped it until he had the Fire Rod.
Doesn't much matter anyhow, since it was only a GT key, which isn't exactly urgent at this point in the seed. We're not getting GT for a while. They don't have nearly enough keys for it.
Alright, so Aaron is now heading into the Village of Outcasts, finds the other inconsequential piece of paper. and something slightly more consequential in the Swamp Palace one.
Yeah, they can't actually get into Swamp. They can only do 2 chests in it, but they can get in there.
Yep. I mean, it beats 1, which would be the open mode version of that.
Well,
where the
actually,
first key would be guaranteed to be
I don't think I can get to. I don't think they think they still need a hammer to get to the Southern Dark World at the moment. But yeah.
No, they can just jump down from here.
Oh wait, no, I might just. No, yeah, you're right. I'm just scatterburning and have a terrible sense of direction. Thank you.
You can absolutely get there. You can actually get all the way to Pod now because of the flippers.
Yeah, you can get Pod from the northern side, which is what I was thinking of, and not the southern side. Head desk. I've got a.
You can also get there from the southern side, though.
Yeah.
You just swim.
Yep.
And in fact, I'd love to get. If I were them, I would love to get there as soon as possible, and grab that Master Sword on the island.
Yeah, I would be thinking about that by this point. We train now in the village. There's the ice rod for Aaron. And the Master's... No, another sword, sure.
Yep.
We're 28.5 minutes into this seed, and I already have more than half the items written down on my notes sheet. And none of the keys.
Alright. It's digging time.
Time to dig. Digs for 10 arrows. Not the worst, not the best. Nice rounded Master Sword incoming for P-Train.
So at least we're not having a good old-fashioned ice rod hunt today.
We are not, but we might end up on a ice rod hunt type of hunt for a key at some point. We are missing several. Missing quite an assortment of small keys, most of the big keys. And we do also need a fire rod. We might need some other... We definitely need a hammer. Some other things besides.
So Aaron here is going for the blacksmith play. Getting our green 20 for the day. And we could see a plate of magic bat here. But he's not going for it.
With what powder for Aaron?
Oh, right. Sorry.
Yeah, Aaron has not done sick yet. He might, and he...
I think he's about to.
Tumbletalk, that green 20 replaced the boots. They started with it in this seed.
Meanwhile, P-Train is going for the magic bat play, and maybe Aaron will also get in on that.
I would assume so.
Looks like it.
Fine. And
hey, Agate Tower number 2.
Yep.
Now that we already have access to that area of the world, here's your Agate Tower key.
Of course. Tom, it is just your regular bog standard ALttPR rule set, which I think is that RMG modified or is it NMG modified?
It's definitely modified from the no major glitches category. There are a few things that are legal in the randomizer racing rule set that are not legal in NMG.
Yeah,
but
I remember it's a modified version of one of the rule sets, just not if it was NMG or restricted major glitches. That's really brain works at times. So yeah, modified NMG as usual.
If it was RMG, they'd be boots clipping all over the place.
Yeah, that's also just me having a brain fart. ALttPR is not primarily the place where I hang out, but I do sometimes for fun. purple chest was also nothing. Let's see where Aaron's off to now.
No, I don't think anybody has done a pedestal check this time. Last time at this point, both P-Train or at least P-Train had done a pedestal check. But not this time. So P-Train now has...
When they
go
do
ahead.
the back of... Yeah, they'll likely check when they do the back of Skullwoods. They were in the front earlier, but it's a bit of a hike for one thing.
Okay. Well, I guess we don't need that sword on the lake now. I mean, I'd still take it.
Yeah, but it is funny. But I guess that's sword percent. 33 minutes in.
So yeah, now you'll see P-Train leave the purple chest behind here, and basically what he's going to do is head over to the lockpick, and then mirror in such a way that that dude will be on the screen. And basically, it checks to see if you have a follower before deleting it in the code. And so that guy is programmed to give you the item that way.
Alright, Meyer and Hera are our two red crystals. No?
And we'll actually be acquiring the item here on Bombo's tablet on account of having picked up 1,000,000 swords.
Yep.
But it is just a compass.
Yep. Time for, well, let's see if Hype Cave is actually hype. Small Skullwoods key, ain't it? Third bottle also isn't great, and... Small key to pod, okay, that's...
Is that number 5?
That is key number 5, yes.
Well, I mean, that is all you... Not only is that all you... That's more than you actually need to full clear pod. But you certainly wouldn't argue with a 5th key, that way you don't have to, like, keep the front door closed.
Yeah.
These guys are going to hammer jump anyway, so... For those of you who don't know what the hammer jump is, that's just a bomb jump that takes you over to the hammer chest, or what is normally the hammer chest.
Yep. And time for Meyer, it looks like for Aaron.
Interesting.
I mean, I guess you can. You have a way in, you do have that tempered now, as well as the bow to make Vidi not suck. Knows how to do lampless Dark Meyer, I'd assume, and you don't need small keys for here.
P-Train is going for the gold. Like you do. That is my kind of sword right there.
35 minutes in, we have sword percent officially collected for P-Train.
Meanwhile,
area.
Yep. So, Aaron going for the Meyer play. You can full clear Meyer at this point.
Yep, small keys are optional here. Just get the ones from in here. The shuffled ones are not necessary.
But you do have to, be kind of careful with them. Like if you pull up the key under this pot over here, and then open the door immediately north of you, you might be a little bit, up a creek.
Also, that's a point from chat that he can't full clear this place. He can't light any torches at the moment.
Oh yeah. Yeah, overrated.
Oh hey, map of Meyer in Meyer. Vacant pond, which they don't need.
P-Train keeps tried this yesterday. He's going to try it again. This is a non-trivial hover. You got to kind of get on that ledge there. Okay. There you have it.
Nicely done. Nothing on that side, though.
Yeah, you will not catch Aaron doing the bridge chest last because that caused him to not have the Ganon small key that he needed last time.
Alright. Meyer was a complete and utter bust, and Aaron has decided he's coming back later for Vinny. I don't blame him entirely.
Yeah, that dark room in the back of Meyer is less than fun. It's doable, and I imagine anybody who got to this point in the tournament can probably handle it, but, no thanks.
Yeah, and he knows he can come back later with the Lamp coming back there with Lamp would also get him his 2 Firelock checks that he is currently left behind. So not the worst. Nice to just leave it for now. P-Train bombing the wall to set up for a hammer yet later. There's Berna.
We got canes all over the place.
Our first Shield of the Seed, why not? You know something I've started to wonder, Bob? Where's this hammer gone off to?
I mean, that is the $64,000 question, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Obviously, they still need keys, but in terms of major items, hammers one of the things they would like to see soon.
Disclaimer, there is no $64,000 prize for this tournament. Anyway.
Always good to be clear, yes. Thank you, Bob. Yeah, mentioning Castle Tower, which reminds me of the other thing. They do have both Castle Tower keys. If we find the lamp,
so
there is a non-zero possibility hammer might end up on Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, there is that annoying thing where the lamp can be in the first chest of Castle Tower.
Yes, it can.
And to be fair, no one's done the front of Escape.
Nope. Or any of Eastern, which does have multiple checks available. And I have, in fact, actually rolled a seed. I think it was for the Challenge Cup last year, where your hammer was on Pyramid Fairy. The runner's last location, understandably. They had Dark World access otherwise, meant to turn up that seed, so that was just a last location hammer, have fun at Pyramid Fairy time.
Yep. And of
For
course,
those that don't
hammers.
know, either you have to do a fairly obnoxious bomb dupe with a big red bomb, or beat Aga to get the portal, because otherwise, good luck getting the big red bomb to the pyramid.
So P-Train was about to go the vanilla way to the chest here, and then decided to go back around. I think once you're in the room, you might as well just do it, but whatever.
His choice. It works.
Alright, 150 rupees from Catfish. Still, Aaron does not have the cash necessary for Zora, otherwise he could have mirrored and gone for it.
Yeah. And this looks like he'll be ready to pawn now. That's key number 3 for GT. Not really what P-Train felt like seeing there.
Now, unlike yesterday, we do not have the big key coming into Eastern here, so can't grab that chest to start with.
Nope.
And we are getting a look at the pyramid here. It has a map, which Aaron is not even concerned with, because we already know where the green pendant is. We already know where the 5 and 6 crystals are due to the bomb shop, and that's all we need.
Because it's an ADC by default because of the move, as you get the herpes.
Alright, so P-Train going to be floating away from Eastern now. Here we go. Heading for the castle now. He hasn't done Uncle or anything in the front of Escape. So now we'll get to see the front of Escape from P-Train while Aaron retraces P-Train's steps in Pod. Yeah, it would have made sense for Aaron to mirror here from the pyramid while he was here.
And there's
Pod key number 6.
Okay, sure.
All right.
It would have been more interesting if there had actually been anything in Pod.
We have officially taken care of business here in this seed. And moving on to the basement of Hyrule Castle. And we will still have the big key of Hyrule Castle down here on the guard. None of the enemy drops or anything like that have been shuffled.
Nope.
Though that is, again, a setting that is possible in some versions of the randomizer.
Yep, just not in this one. Or at least that they're using, as you find absolutely nothing.
And we're going for the good old-fashioned Dark Cross here.
Yep. Out of logic without lamp or fire on, not that he cares.
You know what, I'm smelling a lot of Ice Palace coming off of this seed.
So am I. We're starting to run out of places at the rate we're going without keys or a hammer. Because we can't finish Eastern, we can't do anything more in Desert, Dark Cross is nothing. We're Biggie locked out of Pod, we can do 2 checks in Swamp. We've seen Skullwoods and Thieves. We've seen my early. I mean,
P-Train's heading into Castle Tower here. One of these checks is actually in logic on account of having the, just being able to get in here. This first check. But the second check is not. So that's the Ice Palace Big Key. Remember that thing I was saying about Ice Palace?
Yeah. I think they should go there. I mean, it's that, they've got 2 checks in Swamp, and they have a little bit in TR. They do have one small key, the Cade and the way in. Oh, actually, no, they'll have a hammer to get, never mind. There's some Myers.
Now, if P-Train really wants to do it, he's doing it.
He is.
I was gonna say, if P-Train really wants to do it, he could finish Castle Tower while he's here. Which is not entirely unreasonable, given the fact that you have, plenty of hearts, a weapon that can basically destroy everything, and you're already halfway up the tower, right? You don't want to have to do it again.
This is sensible for P-Train. Aaron, in the meantime, is finished cleaning out as much as he can of Pod, and he's off to Eastern.
But yeah, a Hammer and Ice Palace is kind of a garbage situation.
I mean, what's left for this hammer anyhow? Not that much.
Alright, so P-Train went a little far there. And it's going to use cane blocks to... Well, he was trying to use it to guide his way through the room. It's at this point, if I wasn't sure, I'd be pulling up a map.
Yeah, this is the tough floor, as Chet notes.
Yeah, this particular room is a kind of nightmare. Ah, and he makes it.
Nice.
Can you make sure to kill the guard just below you? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh no!
Or it kills you first.
And he's got a fairy.
Nice.
Alright, commence with the revenge beatings. That'll do.
And this time he's fed up and just bomb boosts the lot. Good idea.
And key acquired, and we're going. And from this point forward, we're all lit up.
Wahoo. Very clean. Our room's there. Alright, how many blue balls do you think they're gonna get?
I mean, after that display, they don't deserve any. After getting through it in the dark, you don't want to see any.
Well, we'll see. I vote 3, as Aaron is off to ice.
Yep.
It honestly makes sense.
Rip the 0.
Yep. And 2.
Seems that the Count Von Count has joined us in the chat.
And 2, alright. Mr. VGD is the only who gets 2, and, well, wins our informal guessing game, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
That Ice Palace Big Chest could be a problem, yeah, for Mr. Aaron here. We'll find out. At least they can Icebreaker, although, yeah, never mind. They're gonna have to leave a chest behind here, right, so they don't have a hammer.
Yeah. And we know this first chest won't be a hammer because it's logically locked behind one. But you want to pick it up while you're here.
And it's a shovel. Okay, that's something. Also, P-Train does have enough money for the Zora here, so we will see that it can be a hammer.
Oh yeah. Might have a full-on Thank Solsky situation on her hands.
And some mobs. And a big key to thieves. Very nice.
Aha!
So that's where they're going next, I suppose.
Quite possibly, yeah.
Didn't get the bomb jump though, so something to go around. And Zora's a scam.
Now, of course, P-Train has the Ice Palace big key, and Aaron does not. It turns out the hammer is in the big chest of Ice Palace. That's going to be a devastating blow over here.
Oh, that is going to hurt, for sure. That's the case. P-Train's off to Meyer now, I think. Was he?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Aaron was the one who went here earlier.
Now, I would not be surprised if P-Train actually finishes Meyer here. He's not going to be able to full clear it. And I'm pretty sure we just picked up a key to desert of some kind. I think it was small, but don't hold me to it.
Small key to desert, yep, in the iced tea chest.
So all sorts of hot garbage getting thrown around here. Aaron deciding to go for the Thieves Town play.
It is the most dense play. You've got,
I mean, it's really 3, right?
I mean, it's better than 2 checks on the right side of desert.
There is that.
Or, you know, the 2 checks in the front of swamp. Or, you know, beating Viddy to get 1 check and then 2 more off Pyramid Fairy. It's not like his options are fun.
Yeah. I do love the whole, I do love the idea of, you know, second chest in swamp having the hammer for old time's sake.
Mm-hmm. It's a classic. The shovel could have something behind it, though we know it won't be the hammer, because it wasn't a hammer locked check. The icebreaker just nice.
Yep. Could still be something like the fire rod or other important things.
Could be the fire rod. Speaking of, that's a good chance to discuss what do we need for Gobo.
Well, when you want in fire rods, you know, logically you would need a lamp. You need the Eastern Palace big key. You need the Desert Palace big key. You need
GT big.
GT big. We need Pod big.
There's the hammer. Thieves' Attic.
Gross.
Then I think that's about it for the list. Because the hammer was about the last thing on that list, and they just found it. And that is logic, because the Thief's Mole was available on the Hulu. Took me a second looking at the sheet to figure out where the Thieves Town mall was.
Yeah, Thieves Town small key was pretty early. And it was definitely it definitely puts that attic chest in logic for sure.
So, Aaron, we'll not need to skip it. There's another small key to TR, which is the other thing. They do need 3 small TR smalls to finish the place. Forgot that earlier, but they do need that. And Herpes, so that is also the only small key they definitely need at this point. They can skip the others. But they do need a 3rd TR small as well as the big keys and the fire rod to beat the seed.
Yeah. And I think the way that P-Train did things, he's gonna need a Skullwood small key. Because he spent the key under the pot cleaning out the backside there, so he's going to go get it.
So, yeah.
We know one of them's on the ether. Yeah.
You got one here in Meyer. that was the main room. There was also one on.
Oh yeah, and he's got some more. So don't pay attention to me. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, and that's one done for Aaron. Blinking missed it. I wouldn't say that a double dip of ice is. Well, no, yeah, you did have to hard double dip ice because the hammer being behind the thieves big and the ice palace freezer chest. Thanks for the Meyer compass on video game.
Yeah, so that's the thing with Ice Palace Hammer. So I would still consider this a hammer, quote, in Ice Palace situation because it's, well, behind Ice Palace. But essentially, Hammer and Ice is something that most people will get to very, very, very late because it's obnoxious.
It is. It is looking to be a last location hammer, in fact, for P-Train, which I don't blame him for, honestly. It's not the most fun places to do.
I'm like, just where is he going? Hey, and welcome into Zelda. Zelda-san's raid.
Welcome in. Thank you for the raid of 10. We're about just under an hour in as you get our second Meyer key off the shovel. Just under an hour into a AD keys race here between MrAaronSnerd. Going pretty alright, honestly. We're missing a handful of small big keys, we're missing a TR small, and a fire rod. P-Train's missing hammer is in the back of Thievestown.
Oh wow, P-Train is going for the swamp play. That's what's going on here. Which is
with Red Bomb and Ice, maybe? Yes, Chat mentions the Red Bomb.
Well, except he needs Meyer, or no, I guess he's got it. But he walked into the shop and then left. So.
But it is a choice for him. I did mention that Hammer could have been behind Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah.
He is too argument being in logic. He is short a lamp and short something else that I'm presently forgetting. Yeah. And yeah, swamp.
Well, there's that lamp we're talking about.
Never mind that. Seek event and it shall appear.
And P-Train's out, while Aaron is very much in.
And this is now the Pyramid Fairy play, I think, for P-Train.
Yeah, that makes plenty of sense.
He has already been Aga, so he can't actually do this without having to try and bomb dupe it. I don't even know if he knows bomb dupe. It's not something that comes up very often.
Yeah, you can absolutely do this the short way here. As for those of you who don't know, after you beat Aga 1, the front gate of Hyrule Castle turns into a massive Dark World portal.
Yep.
Yeah, the big bomb is not in logic, that's for sure.
Yeah, right, we're missing a hero big. That's the thing we're missing for that. I forgot. They don't need the hero big unless there's something they need in the hero big chest, but it is
basically the way P-Train's operating is he's operating under the assumption that like Harabig is in Ice Palace and he doesn't want to dip ice without the hammer. But he's gonna have to dip ice without the hammer, unfortunately.
And I think that's where he is now going. This is a close to last location for him by this point, I think.
Precisely 0 people like to dip ice without the hammer.
Yep. Because I'm not sure what if anything else is coming to mind for things you can do without that hammer at this point. He's seen his dungeons, he's done the overworld, he's even done Zora. I think this might be the last location, or very, very close to it for sure, at least.
Alright, we have ourselves a pod big key on the left side swamp. So, left side swamp not being hot garbage today.
Nope, only partial hot garbage as you get a red rupee in the other chest.
Lukewarm garbage, at best.
Well, the pod key's pretty good, so I'd call it, yeah, not too much garbage, just a little bit.
Maybe tepid garbage. Anyway, sorry. It's like, how many other adjectives do I know for not quite hot?
Not much. So you did inspire me to go look up the French word for tepid, because I forgot, for some reason that has come up among the many seriously random French words. I'm not sure why I learned he had previously and then forgot it, but it has come up.
Alright. More heart stuff from Aaron, who will now proceed toward the boss. We got a small key to Turtle Rock. That's gonna be good. That's the third.
As long as they skip the lava chest, and that the lava chest doesn't have something required in it, that is good for them. Because they can finish TR with that.
So let's see what kind of interesting thing. I'm featuring is going to pick up the Thieves' Big Key here, but he also has the privilege of checking the big chest, which Aaron did not. It is the fourth GT key. Sure.
Okay, sure, dude. Not needed, which is good for Aaron because he's not getting that for a bit.
Aaron is applying Ice Rod strats here on Argus, and we get the Desert Big Key as well. That is finishing off another dungeon requirement here.
Yes, it is. We're rapidly approaching go mode. We're missing a Fire Rod and the Eastern Big, I think, at this point.
Sounds about right.
Oh, also GT Big. Missed that.
Yeah. Technicality.
Sure. So Aaron's looking to finish fire here, might as well. Also can be desert because he did get the big key.
Meanwhile, P-Train is heading over to Desert himself.
Right side checks.
Just to check the right side.
Yeah. Yeah, because the small key.
Which after yesterday, with the whole Thieves Town big chest debacle, he doesn't want to go back into Thieves Town without being able to get to the big chest. But guess what?
It's hammers and thieves. I don't blame him, but it does feel a little bad. He'll get there eventually. There's not that much left in the game.
The second Ice Palace key, sure.
Thanks, game.
And a Fire Rod, very nice. I imagine Aaron will be picking that up soon as well.
No reason for Aaron to not do the right side after this, yeah?
So, you could say that the Fire Rod was locked behind Ice Palace as well.
Yes it was.
on account of So the whole fire rod, the fire lock fire situation is a real thing.
Yes, it was. I mean, technically, you could steal the key from the back. I don't know why you would, but you could in theory.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately for P-Train, with the fire rod, he's gonna go to Skull Woods now.
Which
instead of going to get his hammer.
Have his hammer. Hopefully he goes there after this.
Oh yeah, I imagine it's definitely going to be a play to Skull or to Thieves Town afterwards. We might see a pet check. I don't know.
We might. There might be an Eastern or a GT big.
But I think the only thing that could be there, yeah, like you were saying, is Eastern or GT big.
The problem is that those two items are go mode. Because they're not there.
If you miss the fire rod, pay real close attention for the next few seconds. And there it is. It's in desert over there on Aaron's side.
Yep. Ask and you shall receive. This is going to be a minor completion for Aaron. Makes sense he's here, no reason not to at this point, and we'll see what's on the left side, because P-Train couldn't do this earlier, neither could Aaron. And if one of the two remaining big keys that they need is here, that's gonna be bad for P-Train.
Yeah, P-Train definitely wants to avoid going back to Meyer at all costs.
That's for sure. Very quick bot, Buttersworth making quick work of it, and gets red mail for his troubles. Nice.
For those of you who don't know, and I'm sure most of you do, but that is the one place in the game where the developers of the randomizer altered the code or altered the damage table so that the Butter Sword would actually deal damage to Moth.
Yeah, because normally, because of coding quirks in the game, the spikes are going to do the same damage as.
That is the fourth Turtle Rock key, is what that is.
Okay, that's a thing on the pad.
So it's only going to be necessary if something's in the lava chest.
Yes. Aaron might do a blind pull when he goes to finish Thieves.
Very possible.
I mean, you are right there. It's actually fairly quick with a mirror if you're going to finish Skullwood. Sorry, not Thieves. And, it's faster than something like Spike Cave, at least.
It depends on if he goes to finish Ice Palace first, right?
That's true.
If he's thinking, he might be like, okay, yeah, let's do Ice Palace first. That way we can pull pet if we need to. And then, of course, you can also do Saz Rala check. Other places in Logic that we haven't seen include Spike Cave, which is fun.
Crossy, you'll see the hammer in a second.
Yeah, if you didn't see the hammer the first time, pay real close attention to P-Train's side of this screen for a couple of seconds here.
And there it is.
And we see P-Train's entire screen tilt just a little bit. And Aaron heading into the Vidi fight.
And yep, in case anyone missed it, the reason why P-Train didn't get his hammer until an hour and 11 minutes is because the Thief's Big Key was in ice, without a hammer, which is always a fun idea.
It was in fact in the Freezor chest, as it is called.
Yeah, still anyone's race at this point. Aaron is up a couple of dungeons. He's beaten since 5. P-Train is about to beat his 4th. It's close on items. They've done some different checks in each side. Early to say, it's gonna come down to who finds those last 2 big keys first.
Also, do keep in mind that P-Train has finished Aga 1.
That too, yes. I forgot to count Aga 1, so it's actually 5 and 5 even now.
Yeah. It's not like that gets you any more progress toward beating Ganon's Tower, but it does give you a, it does mean that there's, 3 minutes or so time sink that P-Train has banked on Aaron, so just factor that in whenever you make a comparison. I'm not necessarily talking to you, Star, but to all of our viewers who are thinking, now who's ahead here? Just keep in mind that Aga plays will still need to be made by Aaron here.
Yep.
That being said, he may actually do it right here after this.
It wouldn't surprise me. He is right here after all. Yeah, Agatar is going to be a lot quicker with a lamp for Aaron, just because he can, see things.
Very true. It does help to see.
Yes, P-Train did die and get fairy revived in Agatar there when he was in there.
Alright, so P-Train is now headed into Ice Palace for the second go. Going to be able to ice break a second time and then head downstairs. Going to get the free item along the way. I'm a little confused about the 5 out of 8 here. Oh, he just didn't ice break last time. Okay.
Huh. I guess if you don't have the hammer, it's a choice you made to stick somewhat to stay in logic and come back with the hammer to do both chests here, which nets him the small key to Hera, which is an item that does unlock each check.
Yep, that is absolutely an accurate statement, and probably a bit of a euphemism as well.
Yes, and hey Wallkicks, welcome in. The seed's going. It's not too bad actually. It's just the seed.
Now, P-Train did not go for the switch before ice breaking, but that's okay because he had the big key and at least one small key, so you can come down here and do the whole cane block situation to get to Cold Stare. So this will be a green pendant for P-Train. Very nicely picking up that spin this time. And bees!
Last bottle on full serve. Thanks, game.
I like my buses like I like my coffee. Covered in bees! Anyway.
I'd be a little concerned if your coffee's full of covered in bees, Bob.
Yeah, a little bit. Alright, so gonna get a dig from P-Train, and then probably, I would imagine, actually, I can't even remember what he'd be doing next. Oh, Swamp. Yeah, Swamp. I'm like, where's the place where Aaron got all them big keys? Right, Swamp.
Yeah, now the question is, as chat points out, does he skip left side Swamp? I don't think you did when you're missing 2 items for Go Mode. Or actually, in his case, 3.
Skipping left side Swamp would definitely be a problem here.
Yes.
He could do it, and
Oh, no,
I wouldn't really fault him for it, but again, it would pretty much seal the race here.
Yeah, because you don't come back to left side Swamp. Left side Swamp, Volkix has a pod big key in it.
I thought Wallkicks was just saying, wait, what's left side Swamp? I've never heard of it.
I figure I'd take the other option of the 2 possible responses to that question. Yeah, he would get there eventually before GT because he had to, but would have taken him a bit.
Okay. So we've got Aaron gonna go face off against Moth here, picking up the red mail from that, if I recall. And then P-Train, again, will be getting a couple of big keys here in Swamp, provided he full clears it.
Yep.
Alright. So Aaron could decide to go back to Pod and finish that. So you could make a play here. It's like if you go to Pod and like the boss happens to have the Eastern Big Key, you're like in a really good mood. But otherwise, you probably go to Turtle Rock. And I imagine it's probably in Turtle Rock. There's a massively higher chance of that. But who knows?
He does also have ice to do, as chat points out.
Yeah, that is true.
Is though first going to check the pad.
Alright, so Aaron is going to be in the somewhat favorable position of... oh, he hasn't done ice yet, you're right. I was like, he could just pull this. Oh, right. We talked about this. He has to have done ice first to make that happen. And he hasn't.
And he hasn't.
These are words that have been said.
We can talk, we promise.
Alright, P-Train has in fact pulled off the amazing play of actually going to left side swamp, picking up the pod big key. Also going to get the desert big key, I believe, just directly from the boss.
You would be correct.
So after this, I would guess P-Train's probably going to, clean up those dungeons that he got big keys for.
I'd be more surprised if he didn't.
Can we have shout-outs to P-Train with swag picking up the block before he jumps down? Entirely unnecessary, just doing it anyway.
That's why not.
Alright, so Aaron picks up the Hera small key. Again, that could be, the Hera basement could be where the eastern big lies. For all we know, it could be where the Hera big lies. GT big key and swamp big chest. Karnath, who hurt you?
Also, yes, Shelter. Do you even ask? Well, yeah. Asking where the desert big is right before we see it.
And P-Train looking to do desert. Might decide to do the left side of Meyer, but I wouldn't.
Yeah.
So I wonder how much, really, if any time, P-Train has gained on account of having Butter Sword here.
Not much, I don't think.
Like, it's non-zero, but it's not... it's... I would say it's probably more time than it took to get the Butter Sword from where he was. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Aaron is fluting to... Jack? Well, I guess, okay, he's gonna get the TR
he's gonna get the key. That is certainly a play you can make.
Yeah, this just feels bad because he could have done ice before Skullwoods and gotten the key immediately instead of running back here.
So, I just thought of something that kind of adds to the appeal of finishing Pod first, and that is you can also do Sazrala while you're at it. And so now there's 2 additional places where the Eastern Big Key could be.
That is true. We'll see where Aaron chooses to go, because he is menuing to that flute.
So, flute to 1 or flute to 5 here. It is a 1. I mean, both Aaron and P-Train actually know what's on the pedestal. Pod has the big chest and the boss left for these runners. And speaking of Pod, that's where P-Train is headed.
Alright. Talk about one of her trick is mentioning, yeah, that's also a point that Aaron never did do the front of escape. If it comes down to it, he might end up heading there at some point, which will give time back to P-Train.
Yep, very possible. So we may see P-Train mirror in the middle of this maze here. Right now.
Turn to the green pendant. And get a rubber for his troubles.
Oh yeah, it's definitely far more likely that the Eastern Big Key is in Turtle Rock. But if it's in Pod and you get it, you feel like a genius. Just saying.
Yep.
Because then you just mirror right to Eastern.
Yeah, and then that would let him do that. He would say it would save P-Train and tower climb too, mountain climb too. Potentially, if GT Big Key is in GT, which it does have a good chance of being at this point.
So P-Train is going to go for the big chest first here, probably with a quick hammer jump.
I'd assume so.
Yeah, there we go. I was like, he was 1 pixel high, but he adjusted that just fine.
Yep.
So now P-Train going for the boss, hoping to find that Eastern Big Key here, but you know, it's much more likely to be here in Turtle Rock, and that's Hera.
And that. So, well, that
Yep.
is one
Baited.
more. That is one more check, at least. Hera could have the Eastern Big, yes. Nothing.
Yeah, you could definitely have Eastern Big Key, like, in the big chest of Hera. Or it could be in the big key chest in the basement. Because we did find the Hera small key as well.
Yep. It's not the Chain Chomp's room.
Spike Cave, yep. Yeah, definitely the Death Mountain play here is the most dense as far as remaining locations goes.
For sure. There's not that much left in the seed.
Of course, for Aaron can actually check the lava chest here without a real consequence, and I would if I were him.
I mean, he went that far out of his way for the pet key, so I would, yes. And he gets a heart piece for his troubles. Womp womp.
Alright, moment of truth for Helmasaur. We'll see if P-Train has to go climbing the mountain. Yep. P-Train is climbing a mountain. Why is he climbing a mountain? Because he has to.
Yep. Sorry for kind of ruining your joke there.
Oh no, I appreciate it, like, because it wasn't really a good joke.
No, it wasn't. I'll be honest.
Also, because I can't do a very good William Shatner impression. Anyway.
Alright,
but as we can see, P-Train is also going to go grab that key. Alright, so P-Train heading on up to Turtle Rock, following the footsteps of Aaron. Aaron pretty much firmly in the lead here at this point. Well, except for the fact that he's still got to go finish Helmasaur. But, I mean, when Aaron goes to finish Helmasaur, ideally, he'll have the Eastern Big Key, and will be able to knock those two out at the same time.
Yep. Laser Bridge here. Turning up, not much.
So yeah, might not be in Turtle Rock proper, might be in Hera or Spike Cave, which are also two perfectly reasonable checks that you can do right after this. Could be in Trinex proper. I'm sure Aaron, of course, is sitting here thinking about what he's going to try next.
Yes.
And there it is, Eastern
There
Big
it
Key
is.
on Trinex.
And that is, now we're just down to the GT Big Key, which has a really good chance of being in GT at this point.
Sure does.
I'm actually seriously starting to debate the wisdom of actually doing a GT Big Key guessing game.
Well, thing is, there's a few locations outside of GT where it could be as well.
There are, yes, that's all. I'm hesitant.
So, like, we could do the guessing game, but you could also have, like, 23, 24. So, like, any number of checks past GT.
Anyhow, actually, we are on CSR anyhow, so you guys can do a bet. Where is that Big Key?
It's my contractually obligated guess. I'm doing it.
Of course, Dr. Bob is guessing Bob's chest.
Although I will say that was not named after me. It was Bob long before I got involved with this thing. Alright, so Aaron is heading through Pod, gonna finish this rather quickly. I don't know if Aaron went to go pick up the Pod Big Chest, or not.
I don't think he did. Might come in back in afterwards though, because Helmasaur is required, the Big Chest isn't necessarily,
right.
So it's good to do
but
this
it's
first.
Definitely, I think it's definitely a reasonable play to not go super out of your way checking things in these dungeons and just, assume that the Big Key is going to be in Ganon's Tower. That sort of makes sense at this point.
There are 22 checks in GT after all, yeah.
Now, I do expect him to check the eastern big chest, because it's basically on the way.
It is.
Though I'm not entirely certain he's checked any of eastern.
That's a... Looking at his personal tracker, which you can see on our side, it doesn't look like it, actually.
Oh, it looks like he's got 2 chests left there. So yeah, he probably has it.
Or maybe it's hard to tell. Anyhow, helm was down.
And P-Train about to head to Trinex here. He's going to, of course, do Laser Bridge first. Meanwhile, Aaron heading into Eastern.
Yep, choosing to leave that big chest behind. Taking the risk, it's not required.
I mean, it definitely makes sense to me.
It does, yeah.
Yeah. According to the compass there, Aaron has absolutely checked this. Except for the big chest, which I do expect him to check. It's right here. Yeah.
Yeah. And red repeat. Also, that big...
backdoor strats. Very nice.
Very nice indeed. And, chat, the bet will close once Aaron gets in the door of GT. Oh, Aaron's audio is usable, right, thank you. Forgot to switch, but I will do that. I think I'll give you 2 seconds. On the check something real fast, before I do that. Fine. Okay, audio swapped.
Oh boy, Sanic. Alright, and P-Train entering Eastern at the same time that Aaron pieces out.
Yep. So they're effectively in Eastern apart right now.
I'm just vibing to the music. I can't help it. Anyway.
I will be honest, I'm not listening to it. That MSU does not agree with me at all.
Alright. Fair enough.
Most MSUs don't. Unfortunately, I have a number of sensitivities to any number of things, and most music is on their list as well. Most ALttPR MSUs don't agree with me. The vanilla soundtrack is fine. There are some MSUs that are fine. Link to the Brass is one. I think the Breath of the Wild one's another. Some of the other Zelda-based ones are fine, but other ones I don't. Not so great. Anyhow, those incoming. He's about to get into GT.
Alright. Aaron into GT first.
right under the hour 42, spawning the cutscene.
Both runners do have all 4 small keys here, so there should not be a small key debacle like there was yesterday. All right, Aaron going right side first to check the first 2 chests and heading left, which is kind of the plan, and that is the only. Well, it could be swamp. Could be swamp. Nope, it's this one. Oh my goodness! Somebody outright won this bet. I remember. So who is it? Who is it? Lucan said bet 3rd GT check.
You win. Nice. So that's that. Aaron is looking to be in the lead here. P-Train a couple of minutes behind. About 2, it looks like, will be about the difference. Gold Sword is going to speed it up a little for P-Train, to be fair, so this is still close. And
you can always have a little bit of you can always have a few, shall we say, mishaps with the whole execution thing. So it's not out. It's not out of it. It's not completely over. But no. Aaron is in the commanding driver's seat here. P-Train could make up a little bit of time by just going immediately left. But I think P-Train kind of has this affinity for going right first, so don't hold me to it. So Aaron actually knows where the 4th sword is. He didn't get the one on the island.
Didn't feel like detouring for it, yeah.
Because you picked up 2 more on the way there.
I just decided, screw it. Alright. P-Train also heading right first.
But if this is anything like yesterday, he's going to keep going, yeah. He's going to lose a little time here, unfortunately.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he'll towel room it.
No, I don't think it's worth that yet. But P-Train was almost exactly 2 minutes behind Aaron entering GT. And of course, with him taking a different route, that's not going to matter as much, but that was a time difference there.
Well, if this holds up, we might be seeing a Game 3 in this series here.
That's always nice.
No nice idea when that would be, but it's going to be a pretty interesting situation.
Yep. These two do seem to be fairly evenly matched, though they've had a pretty close race today. So it would be an interesting Game 3 to see.
And there we go. P-Train picks it up and pieces out. Climbing the tower begins now.
No, hey, mirror shield. I didn't even catch them getting fire shield, or getting the chest that's right in his face, just in case his silvers are there.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
We'll get the hint from Ganon as to where they are. They're likely.
I mean, odds are in the tower. Yeah.
There's not that much else left.
I wanted to say Swamp Palace.
That would be funny.
Hera would also be comedy option.
It would be a comedy option, yeah. Because it's not that.
So we will be seeing some silverless here. Now the gold sword will not improve the silverless portion of the fight.
No.
Because the spins from the gold and tempered sword do the same amount of damage to every enemy except one in this game. And It's very weird which one it is. It's the Hinoxes, like the giants that throw bombs with the big eyes.
Seriously?
Yep. Gold Sword Spin one-shots those, and Tempered Sword Spin does not.
Aga 2, by the way, is being ridiculously awful to Aaron here. I think that was 2002. Yeah, 20022. Not a friendly pattern there. Nice and quick landmass fight for P-Train. $147.48 back crash for Aaron.
Alright, looking pretty good on this first cycle here. Oh, yes, did get the one cycle there for the Tempered Sword, so Tempered Sword not hurting Aaron here either.
Yeah.
P-Train's not checking either of the chests in the Helmet Sword room.
Yep. Doesn't really need to. And yep, Silver's in GT. Not surprised.
About the only thing that would allow P-Train to catch up is if Aaron somehow fell down here.
Which does happen. It's rare, but it does happen.
It would take a mishap on Aaron's part for P-Train to win at this point.
It would, yes. Agatu being about as nice. I think that was 110. Okay, 210. So not worse, but that was a little better, I think, but not by much. As Ganon is.
When the Agatu falls at the same time as Ganon for Aaron, and GG's to Aaron as he crosses the finish line, and there we go. We have an official finish.
Yeah, finishing
1 hour, 50 minutes, 24 seconds. First place for MrAaronSnerd. That's going to give us a game 3 in this series.
Aaron will be joining us for an interview as we watch P-Train fight his Ganon now.
At least we get to see both of our runners finish today.
That's always nice. Might as well for P-Train, you're right here.
So basically, the difference in time here is like the difference in completing front of escape.
I was going to say, because I've been thinking for the last couple of minutes what the difference ended up being, because it's not much, just a couple of minutes.
Okay. One complete run for P-Train. Official time, 1 hour, 52 minutes, and 41 seconds. And we've got both of our runners sitting there in the waiting room. Can bring them
Feel free to throw them in. I am listening in the background for the restream.
We are now joined by our runners, MrAaronSnerd, P-Train. Congratulations, Aaron, on the win here. Taking it to 1-1.
GG's again. GG's again, P-Train.
Yeah, very nice race all around. Just a couple of things. I mean, really, I think the real total difference here was the fact that P-Train actually ended up last locationing the hammer, whereas Aaron only virtually last locationed the hammer.
Yeah.
I would just rather die at Sphere Zero. It's okay.
Yeah, in your process of last location your hammer, P-Train last locationed it a bit harder by doing front of escape, and that's about where the 2-minute difference ends up being.
Yeah, it was one of those. It's one of those seeds that when you are missing hammer for that long, you're like, oh, this is bad. All of it's bad, and then you're just trying to tick off. Okay, where you go? What's next? If it's not here, at least you grabbed a bunch of stuff along the way. Hopefully, yeah, it was a struggle.
Yeah, and I think everyone can agree that having the hammer in or behind Ice Palace is a hot garbage situation that should never exist.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the other thing that P-Train ended up doing was double dipping Swamp. That was the extra thing. You all right there, P-Train?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, just making sure you're there.
Yeah, no, between yesterday and today, like, these seeds have been exhausting.
Yeah, no kidding.
Believe it.
Definitely.
I mean, at least we cut the sub 2 on this one.
There is that.
True. This is true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was so
yesterday's was a
weird,
bit of
because
a
I
mess.
want to say I got my hammer around the, hour 15-minute mark or something like that. But at that point, it felt like it had been closer to, an hour and a half. Like, this seed just felt like it was so long.
Mm-hmm.
Pod was, the biggest disappointment of my entire life.
Oh,
I
was
couldn't
so upset.
believe the pod was empty.
I was so upset. I'm like, what did I even get out of this? A cape? Or whatever?
Yeah, there was a whole lot of nothing. Cane of Burna was the only thing that was in there.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you get I think I had 5 pod keys before I even had access to pod. So by the time I found flippers, I was like, oh, pod has to have something. So I kind of just made my way over there, and oddly enough, I routed. I felt like my route was really efficient, except for the fact that I just didn't go to ice. But I mean, even doing pod before touching escape so that I could combo escape with the Aga Tower climb and then go to Catfish and Zora, I felt like that was a pretty efficient route. But then I just got absolutely nothing out of the whole trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, both of you going for that key on the pedestal, just in case Turtle Rock decided to troll you again after yesterday. I get that fact.
A logical 4th key? I gotta take it.
Actually, if not for having all the pod keys, I would have sworn that was a key to pod. I have no idea. I thought terrapins were the turtles that you flip over.
They are.
They are.
They are,
Yeah.
but it says it says key to terrapins because, well, okay, here's the thing. It's terrapins on the pedestal, and the ones in pod are terror pins. As in TERROR pins.
So what is a terrapin?
It's just
It's
a
a-
plain turtle.
Yeah, it's just a turtle.
Okay.
Terror pins is them being mad unpunished.
It's really dumb. I think the entrance fork calls it a small key to the pipe maze.
Well,
which
that's
makes
what I'm used to seeing.
Yeah. So yeah. The current official fork is a little bit weird with those hints. But what are you gonna do? I mean, I'm not in charge of it. So, somebody make a pull request.
Yeah, I'm just, you know, it's nice to have a game 3. I know, Patreon, you're probably not excited about game 3s, but hey, it makes for good, you know, good rando, right? So it'll be fun.
I mean,
It'll be a fun
I
game
don't
too.
mind the lost. I'm just getting tired of the dumpster fire of this thing. Like, gee. I feel like our series has been particularly brutal.
Yeah, we've had some struggle
I'm-
speeds.
I'm just not having fun running these speeds, honestly. Like, win or lose, I didn't enjoy yesterday's win, to be honest.
That one just dragged along. So did this one. It felt like though with that hammer, with that like path to hammer. It was like, oh.
Yeah, you
the,
guys got
the
so
Top
many.
Lives. The Top Lives comment in chat, I actually noticed like a lot of similarities between this seed and the seed yesterday. Like book on vanilla book, that was something that happened yesterday.
If we get
Really
if we
early
get Vanilla
sword-
Book in game 3, something's up.
I was a little scared. I was a little scared. I had the seed from yesterday, but then you know, I was like, okay, we're fine. It's okay. I didn't get a ton of stuff this time.
You guys still got a pretty decent amount of stuff early, and then it just dried up.
Yeah, it's funny how that always is in keys.
Yeah, so I guess seriously wonder if your hammer might have gotten onto Pyramid Fairy there for a bit.
Yep.
Yeah, oddly enough, like throughout the seed, I really wasn't that upset with the last location ice because I felt like I was relatively, like, I mean, I don't know, Dark Aga was a little rough, but other than that, I felt like I was relatively efficient, and I didn't mind going to Mire without the fire source because I was still missing like the 2 Mire smalls, so there was no like Firelock side of Mire wasn't really. Like, I didn't feel bad skipping that, you know, so as long as that's not required, I kind of come out even, maybe even ahead with my Mire clear. But yeah, then trying to find everything else, it just took its time. And then I did the compass side with the big key on torch. That felt great.
Yep. I was like, he's gonna go right first, isn't he? That's gonna happen.
Well, I mean, my usual route is the Dark Magician, but the Dark Magician doesn't make sense in Key Sanity, especially if you have all the keys.
If
So
you
you
have
just
a
go, you know, full right. You know, the 2 items,
Basically-
2 items in Hope Room versus the 1 item on the torch. Like, I just feel like full right is the correct call there.
I've heard some people say start with the Hope Room and then just use the door and go left. If you
my
have all
thing
the
with
keys.
Yeah, I was gonna say my thing with GT is if I have all 4 smalls, I go I just you go hope left just because you have more. 1, you have more density, but 2, it's all in logic now, so it's like, oh, okay, like I can comfortably, if I lose to a right side play, yeah, whatever. But I take that usually in most cases. So
I mean, the best GT route's always going to be the correct one.
Correct.
Bottom line.
That is accurate. Well, hopefully for you guys' sake, next time you do GT, you can just go mode it, and that would be nice.
yeah, I mean that was close enough for the most part.
Yeah, I'm fine with the GT big key hunt in GT.
Yeah, that definitely could have been worse.
Yeah. I was just waiting for that to be the swamp big key.
That would have been.
I mean, honestly, when I found the Mire small in the compass room, I was sweating the the Firelock side of Mire pretty hard.
Oh boy. All right. Well, that was a heck of a race. I'm looking forward to whenever you guys schedule the next one. Don't feel pressured to let us know when that is. Take your time and set that up, and we'll be looking for that on the schedule coming up. Anything else you two want to say before we start to wrap things up here?
Oh, I just want to say thanks everybody for restreaming both of our races so far, and hopefully we'll we'll figure out game 3 quick, and we'll get a good we'll give you a good show again. GG's again to P-Train.
Yeah, GG's, man.
Yeah, GG's, guys. Any last words, Bob, and then I'll take us out?
No, I mean, all I want to say is, thanks to all our volunteers, and of course, thanks to our runners. Make sure to give them a follow. I'll leave you with the last word, Star. I'll just say that I've been Dr. Bobtastic, and I will see you all at a later occasion. Good night, everybody.
Yep. So, give our runners a follow. P-Train and MrAaronSnerd. Thank you to my co-com, Dr. Bobtastic. To our trackers, Rail with Cheese and Toffile, and thanks to everyone in chat for watching. So, let's see, coming up ahead on the schedule for the Star, this is it for the restreams today. We don't have any other tomorrow. It's relatively chill time right now for restreams. Nothing on the schedule, at least. Friday, we have at 3 Eastern. Ocarina of Time Randomizer Random Settings League Season 4 Swiss Round 2 match between Rukin and Cola, and at the same time another AD Keys match, Round 1 Game 3 between Gamma, Chu, and Obscure. As well as a couple other races that day, and a load of races over the weekend. Plenty as per usual, all of our weeklies. I've got a couple tournament matches. Lots of chaos to be had there. Of course, keep an eye out on the schedule for these two, Game 3, as well as other races. The next race for this tournament will be tomorrow, Salty Fry vs. RD Walshavie. Game 1, an inverted AD Keys match will be at 8 p.m. Eastern. Doesn't look like we have anybody signed up for volunteer for that, so this is probably not gonna get a restream, but if you want to check it out, have fun. But this will be it for us here. We're going to go over and say hi to Pool Flute G. He's having fun with Crisscross Key Sanity with that includes pot keys as well, it looks like. So let's wish him luck with how that's going. About 3.5 hours in, and call it a night. Thanks for watching, y'all. We'll see you next time.